Alright guys, so today I will be explaining the real deal. Is investing in real estate a good idea? Let's see. In real estate you have a few positive factors. So is real estate a good idea? So you gotta look at, it's real. They call it real estate because it's real, it's physical. Stocks is paper. Just remember that real estate is real. It's physical. That's why it's called real estate. You can live in it, you can rent it. It's a house. It's an apartment. It's a condo. It's a complex. Stocks is way different. It's just paper. It represents stock in a company, and it's not stable. Relatively stable, right? It can go up and down really quickly in a day. But in real estate, it's a little bit more stable. It doesn't fluctuate as much as stocks do on a daily basis. Rentals are good because they're a retirement vessel. Oh, hang on. The truck is going off. Okay. So it's a retirement vessel. It's like your TSP or retirement account. We'll go into that more in depth. It's income. When you rent it, when you sell it, it's income. It's liquid because you can sell it, not as quickly, but you can still sell it. You got to think about depreciation. So the depreciation that you accrue throughout the year, you can use it against your gains, offsetting your profits, which just means that you make money and you don't have to pay taxes on it. You have equity, and that's just the difference between the principal and debt. That determines your equity. Then you have your appreciation. Appreciation is just your general term that everything appreciates by a general thumb, not a rule of thumb, but by a general rule that it's 2%. You can say 1%, whatever suits your fancy. But everything does appreciate, right? Not everything, but real estate does, for the most part. Then you can leverage it. You can leverage it to buy more things in a money management fashion. So that's a different class, but it can be leveraged. So what is real estate? Real estate is property, right? Stocks is paper. Alright, that's that. Give you a little chance to read it. It just means that real estate, you have the mineral rights sometimes, you have the building, natural resources, maybe there's a river running through there, you have fish and stuff, you have tree, you have pine. Stock is paper. Alright, so let's talk about how is real estate retirement? Well, real estate is retirement because we have an example here. Let's say there's a property. Oh shoot. Leave it out. Okay. So you have property that you bought for $500,000. Okay? It's the appraised value. Then you have your mortgage, which is principal and interest. And it comes out to $2,245 for that amount, right at 3%. I think I put 3.5%. You can use a calculator for that. Let's say you rent it. You sell it every month for $1,500. Okay, that doesn't cover the mortgage. This is a worst case scenario, right? Hopefully you don't get too low. You don't get this low, but this is just like a worst case scenario. So your mortgage is $2,245. Your rental income is $1,500. It obviously does not cover the mortgage, right? Okay. Well, how much is your principal? It turns out the principal is $786, right? All right. And your interest, that's the I in the mortgage, it comes out to $1,458. So these two pink numbers are covering each other, right? So your rental income is covering your interest. Bingo, right? At the bare minimum, at least you're doing that. Alright. So out of pocket, you're carrying the $786 plus maintenance fees, liability, and other things, right? But at least you're not being charged for it. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyways, so at the end of 30 years, right, 30-year mortgage, you would have paid $500,000 in this amount. Okay? That you paid every month for 30 years, 786. You would have paid $500,000. Okay, period. Alright. Well, taking into account that real estate appreciates, let's say 2%, that same house will be valued at $905,000, with just the sheer appreciation of the dollar, right? Well, depreciation, inflation, so 2%, right? So your dollar will not have the same purchase power as it will a year from now, right? It's 2% general rule, so you probably need $1.02. Okay. So that's to say that out of your pocket, you spent $500,000, maybe some maintenance items here and there, and insurance and some other stuff. Let's say $600,000 you came out of pocket. Okay. Well, you go around and sell it for $900. All right. So what's the difference between $500 and $900? Well, it's $400, right? But let's say you had $100,000 in. So that's to say you made $300,000 in 30 years, which isn't a lot, but at the same time, you didn't do much of anything. All you did was manage money, right? Somebody paid out your interest for you. So you paid $600,000, and then you get $900 out of it. Okay, so that's something to think about. This is a worst case scenario, so hopefully you would have a better case. Maybe the rental income would be $2,000. Right? That's just a general guideline and a general topic of conversation. Go from there. Depreciation. So the useful life of real estate is 27.5 years, but for commercial property it's different. I believe it was 30 years, or it could be a little bit more. I don't remember. I gotta look it up. So what you do is the purchase price divided by 27.5 years, which gives you $18,000 that you can write off every year. So if you have $18,000 of, well, actually, let's run that scenario. You made $1,500 every month for 12 months. That would be, what is that, 18,000? I think it's 18,000. Oh, look at that. It worked out. So, wait a minute. All right. 1,500 times 12 is, yeah, it is. It's 1,800, right? Okay. Anyway, so it's 1,800, and there you go. You can write all of it off. So that means that you just made $1,800 and you're not getting taxed on it. Cool. All right, equity. Equity is the principal minus your debt equals your equity. What can you do with equity? Well, you can take out a HELOC against your equity. You can cash out and refi by doing a new appraisal, which elevates your value, and then you can have equity just instantaneously. Like, let's say you bought a shredded home that needed remodeling, and you remodeled it, so the market value is different. So what you do is you appraise it, and then now you have equity because the principal outdoes the debt. So if you bought it for $100 or $100,000, you put in $20,000, but the property is worth $250,000. Well, then you have equity. So that would be like $130,000 in equity. That's just the way it works. Okay, I'm not making this stuff up. Then you can cash out and refi, or you can do, like I said, a HELOC. Moving down, you can do interest-only refi if you got into a bad refinancing situation, you just want to lower your payment, you can do so and lower your payment, and you don't have to cash out. And then asset value increase. Well, your asset's going to appreciate, right? All right. Appreciation. We just kind of went over that. Everything, real estate appreciates usually around 1%, 2%. Land value could increase. Let's say they built a hospital right next to it. Let's say they built a park right next to it. Let's say you once purchased a suburban area and then it became urban. Okay, your population went up. That means demand is going up. And what about inventory? Things to think about. Leverage. You can buy more property with it. We went over that. The HELOC, you can cash out. You can use that money to buy other homes. You can spread yourself thin and really put yourself in a pinch, and then you can go under, or you can leverage yourself out wisely, manage your money well, and do well for yourself. So it's just really up to you how much you want to extend yourself. You can do new appraisals. That'll give you new values for your home, and you can do cash out refi, or you can do a HELOC. And not making it up. That's just the way it is. Liquidity. So just like stocks, you can sell it. It won't be as quick. Actually, there are situations where it can be very immediate, at least a day. That's more advanced techniques. So you gotta send me a question about that kind of stuff. But it is liquid. It could be very quick. It could take a long time. I don't know. Stocks, again, is paper. And you got to remember that real estate is property, rentals. It's a home, it's an apartment, it's a condo, it's a beach home, something. Stocks is just a stake in somebody's company. And it's represented by paper that you probably never will see. So it is what it is. You can sell it and cash out. You can rent it. You can sell it every month by renting it. You can longer to sell than stocks, but it's stable and not paper. All right, we went over that. So is real estate investing for me? I don't know. Retirement goals. You got to know your retirement goals. You got to know what your current and future tax situation is going to be. So you just got to get savvy. You got to get intelligent. You got to learn these things. It's not easy. You got to learn how to money manage, or manage money. That's a skill all on its own. These three things right here. Your retirement goal. How are you going to know where you're going to be in the future? You don't know, but you just invent something in your head. You formulate a goal and you go for it. You have to. So that's just the way it is. Current and future tax situations. You're going to have to learn some tax code. You're going to have to get really savvy. All right, that's the way it is. You're going to learn how to manage money. They don't really teach it in school. They kind of go over it, but really, you just got to learn it. And I'm sorry, it's not easy. You're going to have to be really technical because it's your money. The other one is you got to consider other investment vehicles. What do you call those? Cash deposits. Stocks. What's the stock market? Is it better to invest in the stock market than it is real estate? I don't know. You're going to have to look at that. What's your viable vehicles that you have for investing? You got to take all that into account, and that's just you. You're going to have to be your own master. Your own master of money. And then the final question, am I ready? I don't know. So the homework for you is I want to reach out and let you guys know that you can ask me any questions. You have a free consultation, so use it. Send your questions to me via email. And I want to leave you with this. There's one absolute truth, and the absolute truth is that risk is always present, whether it's high risk or low risk. So number one, you got to learn to mitigate that risk. And you do so by increasing your knowledge base, knowing how to do things, and your experience. Even though you know how to do it, until you do it, you'll get a different feeling for your next investment. I tell you, when I was asked to invest $30,000, the very first time, it was my life savings. And it was very scary. But now, ask me to invest $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, I don't even flinch. I just look at what I need to look at, and I'm good. And that's what experience does for you. Number two, there's always going to be remaining risk. So it's that remaining risk. If you can mitigate it, great. If you can't, it's just a leap of faith and luck. It's just the way it is. Thank you. All right.